Hey, welcome to Planet Hex. I'm Andrew Horn. It's tape time again. Finally getting over this cold. It is going eventually, honestly. The cough is lasting forever. So if anyone else has got this weird bug out there, I feel your pain. I really do understand. So I've been working on VHS Hit My Brain 2, The Revenge. That is thundering along very well. That is on target for its March 10th release. The exact 10-year anniversary of the original version of VHS Hit My Brain coming out back in 2014. Hey, William. You're right, bud. And it's shaping up to be a really good book, a very personal book, very different book. It's got a load of stuff about sequels in there and a load of stuff about what's happened over the last 10 years since the original VHS Hit My Brain came out as well. On this episode, I'm going to get back to tapes, my dudes, because I've had a couple of weeks off that. I felt a bit grim with this cold, and I want to get back into doing what I love the most, and that is talking about VHS tapes. So on this episode, I'm going to talk about tapes. I'm going to go on eBay, I'm going to go on Facebook Marketplace, I'm going to have a look around the internet at a few things that I've spotted that of interest that are just pretty cool. So let's get started. The first thing I did, I went over to Facebook Marketplace and I found some stuff that interested me. A little bit quirky. Some of the stuff is a little bit quirky. Some of the stuff is a bit weird. Some of it isn't. Yeah, I just want to check out the stuff that I want to show you the stuff that I've found tonight. It's just fun. So, do you remember VCR board games? Here's a Star Trek Next Generation VCR board game, and I don't remember this one. I remember things like Atmosphere coming out. Oh no, I do remember this now. I see the box. Yes, I do remember it. Didn't remember the board. I do love it that it's set out like the Enterprise D, and that's just so cool. All those parts in there, and you would play along with the VHS tape. That is so cool. And £15 for that. That looks really good. It's been used. It's well loved, but it still looks fun. Now, I have an unhealthy obsession with pre-recorded tapes. There's something about them that I just think is really, really cool. Let's see if we can find out what's on any of these. Oh, these are a bit blurry. Dunkirk. I see Dunkirk on there, but a lot of those are a bit blurry. But there's something about these things that really fascinates me. They are, historical artifacts. These are things where people have gathered these things themselves, and it's just fascinating to see what people recorded and things they caught, the news stories and the adverts and things like that. I had to get this up for you. An original 80s VHS storage unit for your retro collection. Next to the VHS video library, like the cases that made them look like books, this was an essential back in the day for storing your tapes. Yeah, just the drawers, and just something about that, just the Formica wood effect of the thing, and those pull-out drawers. It really takes me back to being a kid. I think my grandparents had one of these. I remember it being next to their VHS player, and they had like Charles Bronson movies and game shows and stuff recorded, and it was just takes me back, man. Takes me back, and that's part of the key of this whole retro thing that we're doing. A lot of people, for the most part, it is a nostalgia thing. Absolutely a nostalgia thing. But I also find it interesting to share the history of this stuff with people. I mean, this looks really archaic now. A storage unit for VHS tapes. I had one for cassettes as well. I had a few for cassettes, and when I started getting CDs, I got a tray, just a plastic tray with the slots in that you could lean CDs in, and that was my chart. That was like my top 10. And when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, their places would change depending on what I wanted to listen to at the time. So I had my own personal chart. You see, this is what we did before the internet. We just filled the time with nonsense. It was great. So the next thing I found over on Facebook Marketplace, there's a listing of some ex-rental videos. It says for free, but they've all got prices on them, and I just wanted to see what the prices were, especially of this copy of The Stuff, as The Stuff was signed by Graham Humphreys, the cover artist. So that's 30 plus postage. It's not bad. Final Terror 15, After Hours 20, and Prince of the City 20. no real interest there, but that stuff with Graham's signature on it is really cool. I've met Graham and he's a lovely guy. So the next thing I found on Facebook Marketplace of interest was some original X-Rental VHS video shop shelves. £160. Um, from the late 80s, holds 48 X-Rental tapes, pickup only. It's a long way away from me, unfortunately, so I can't go and get that. But I would love one of these. I would absolutely love one of these, just because they're the real thing. It's not something that's been made to look like it was from a video store. This was from a video rental store. Tapes were rented off these shelves, and that's a big thing for tape nerds like me. That is a big thing. Something from the original era. I had a look around tonight for some like video store ephemera, and I did find some, but not loads. But I did find some to check out, and I think it is becoming harder to find stuff that isn't tapes. Relating to video stores, like the rental cards themselves, or the boxes from smaller rental chains and things like that. So that's something I may branch out to and look out for more on my searches. This one caught my eye because it was just this one in bin bags. VHS, 1,000 of great movies, 6 VCRs and 2 portable TVs. £120. So I'm up. I love the idea of rummaging through all this, but what I don't love is the fact that it's been kept outside in like an outhouse. It looks like an old outdoor toilet. So loads and loads of tapes. What kind of spot there? I see The Omen. I see Highlander 2: The Quickening. See some Disney and stuff like that. Lethal Weapon 3. 2 copies of Lethal Weapon 3. Bunch of stuff, but I would love a rummage through that. It looks so exciting. But I'm slightly put off by stuff in bin bags and stuff that's been kept outside. It could get mouldy, so you would need to check each tape individually. And then there's a stack of VCRs and these combis. I really want a combi. I really want to find a decent price combi, TV VHS combination, just because it would take up less space than having the separate TV and the VHS player. I don't have a CRT TV at all in the house at the moment. All TVs in the house are all HD, so it doesn't really look right putting VHS on them. So I tend to go for the smaller ones when I'm playing VHS, but a combi would be great. And I was gutted recently, I saw one kicked into the street nearby. Yay, Nottingham. But a few streets away, there was one literally at the side of the road. It'd just been kicked to pieces. And I was like, I could have rescued that. But anyway, these are the things that happen. So that one interested me just because it was in bin bags. So I did also find this. This really amused me. And there is definitely a market for these. This is only £10, but because this is the... I'll read you the description in a moment. There is a market for these at the moment, and these are still going for like 60, 70, 80 pounds in a lot of the cases I've looked at, and a lot of the ones I've looked at recently. There was one that was like 20 quid, and I missed it. I was sniped on it, so I was gutted by that. It was an old Roadstar one from like minibuses and caravans. I would just love to have one combi. I think that would be really cool. Make it a lot easier to keep up my addiction, you know. But what amused me about this, we said read description. I thought, tell you, £10, 19 weeks it's been up. So let's have a look. This has no remote, and the front flap of the VHS bit is missing. The standby button is broke, so it only switches on via a tape being inserted. It's like that stuff I could live with. Also, due to the age of it and it being stored in a very dusty environment, it also got a bit stinky when I tested a tape playing on it. So it smells bad. So I imagine this is due to all the dust on the inside, so someone who knows what they're doing could quite easily open it up and clean it. Other than that, it works fine. So when you play a tape, it smells. This is literally smelly vision. Finally, it's here. It's reality, folks. But it's a shame. It's a shame because that is a nice looking little unit. So I moved over to one more item. This caught my eye because it's a mixture of stuff, and it had two of my favourite things in the world on it, Doctor Who and horror. So I thought I would go and have a look because it looks like there are some interesting ones here. So this seller has them listed for £2 each, or message for deals. I like the hand. I like there's a I do like the hand there. See my wares, enjoy my wares. But let's have a look what they've got here. So they've got the Devil's Men, the Demon. There's a Napalm Death live one. Lots of Doctor Who. Cthulhu Mansion, Return of the Living Dead 2, which I've got. And more Doctor Who. Nothing that's leaping out at me there, but I do like the effort that's gone into displaying these, and I love the very personable hand. So, behold, being the mythical warden of the treasure, like from Bill Bailey's Part Troll. So that caught my eye. So I moved over to eBay, and I wanted to have a look at some pre-recorded tapes, the stuff that people have recorded off TV, home taped, you know, because that is just a fascinating thing to me. I've done a video on it before, but I just wanted to see what was on some of the stuff that was for sale here. See, this one's got parts 1 and 2 of the TV version of The Stand, Columbo, Paranoia, what's that one up there? Prime Suspect, Midsummer Murders, oh yes. Now you're onto the serious stuff if you've got recordings of Midsummer Murders. Let's see how, okay, we've got some good stuff here, apart from Dances with Wolves, Last Touch of Frost, Midsummer Murders, Tales from the Dark Side, Warren Blood, 80s music videos. I would love to look at that one. There's a tape there called labelled as House of Witchcraft, but that 80s music videos one, that is sticking out to me. Law and Order UK Series 2, Midsummer Murders, Beverly Hills Cop 2. Can't see anything else on those sides there. There's some great stuff on there. That I would love to have a look through the 80s videos one. That looks fantastic. More Touch of Frost, Law and Order, Midsummer Murders. You like your cop stuff? Rod Stewart in concert. I'll just no. Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Excellent. Poirot. There's some watchable stuff here. Definitely some watchable gear here. Unforgiven. On the Buses, Tropic Thunder, The Strangers. That's getting more recent, so they've been doing this until like the early 2000s. That's just so cool. I'm always curious to see what people recorded on these things. This caught my eye because of these labels. 2 mixed used recordable VHS videotapes from the 2010s, full and part. So I want to see what they've got on these. Discovering Jack Lemmon, commercial breaks ×3. They've listed the number of commercial breaks. Outcast Series 2, Episode 2, commercial breaks ×3. The first few minutes of the Family Guy Star Wars. Part of Ken Bruce on Radio 2, only a few minutes. Okay. 6 minutes of Popmaster from Radio. Glastonbury 2016, an hour of New Order. Mercury Rev, there's some music stuff on there. There's Coldplay on there, but I won't hold that against them. Songs of Praise. Wimbledon 2013 reviews. I love how random these things are, and that also takes me back to when I was taping stuff off the TV, and I would list things meticulously. I would number them. I would put on which music videos were on there, the movies, and you know, notes like when it would cut out or anything like that. That's really cool. You can see the effort that went into these. It wasn't just like just record it. It was. There was some interesting stuff going on. So Mork and Mindy, Erie, Indiana. Hamish Macbeth. Blackadder Goes Forth. Yes. Vertigo and Frasier. Eclectic mix there. Let's see if I can see anything on these. Oh, those been blanked out. Ah, shame. I wanted to see what you've been up to. That is a shame. So let's have a look at this next batch I found here. This one looks promising. He says promising. Got rhododendrons and acid soils. Lots of stuff about gardens. Buckingham Palace's garden from 2003. The Yorkshire Dales. Lots of gardening. Spring Watch. Fair enough. Whatever floats your boat. But again, it's fascinating to see what people recorded. So we've got a mixed batch here. Let's see what's in this mixed batch. So it's only $7.99. So I'm not expecting a great deal from this, but let's have a look. So we've got Fast and Furious, Menace to Society, X-Men Species, American Pi, Terminator 3, It, and that It has a little drawing of Pennywise on it. That rules. Jurassic Park. Nah, nothing leaping out at me on that one, but it's always worth a look, 'cause you never know what you're going to find. You may find something rare on there that's never been shown in that same cut, that same version or anything like that. Let's see what we've got here. Black and white Mikado. West Country Home Movies. 1930s, 1960s. I see. Southern Steam. Architecture and Engineering. Okay, we've got one here for £75. So, come on, impressive. Oh, this is the one that was mainly Top of the Pops 2. The spin-off from Top of the Pops that had more like alternative stuff and classic stuff on it. That's a good, if you're into your Top of the Pops 2, that would be a great batch to go through. This one grabbed me because it said TMNT and Gremlins, and that is instantly a library there. You would spend weeks going through this stuff. Let's see what's on some of these. Ghostbusters, Last Boy Scout, The Mask, The Shrek, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Home Alone, Dr. Dolittle, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, another one of those, Wizard of Oz, Dumbo, Under Siege 2, 55 Days at Peking, Pale Rider, Innocent Blood, Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan. See, what's interesting here is that if these have been recorded off the TV, then they're going to have the adverts, they're going to have all the little bonus bits, the links, the news stories. This is a gold mine. So if you have the space and you want to really bulk up your collection, this is a great way to do it. Return of the Musketeers, Sleeping Beauty, Prince of Thieves, Fatal Attraction. Everyone had a copy of Fatal Attraction for many years. Superman, Conan the Barbarian, Robin Hood, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, yes. A Few Dollars More, Killing Fields, Under Siege, spelt wrong. Cliffhanger, spelt wrong. See No Evil, Speak No Evil. Faulty Towers, Steptoe and Son Rides Again. Honestly, something for everyone and every mood. Absolutely love it. Oh, let's have a look here. We got Last Action Hero, Karate Kid, Grease 2, Grease with a C. Okay. Red Sonja, Commando. That's a good tape back to back. Batman Returns, Return of a Michael Horse, Blue Jean Cop with Peter Weller. I keep wanting to call him Paul Weller, that would be very bad. Buster, Homeward Bound, another Three Musketeers. They like the Musketeers, don't they? Hot Shots, Papillon, never say that right. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Dirty Dancing. Robocop 3, you poor thing, you sat through Robocop 3. Thomas the Tank Engine. I love that. Next to Mad Max 2. Perfect. Young Guns. Perfect. Gorillas in the Mist. Great movie. Time Cop. Yes, some absolute gold in here. This is a really good one. Really, really good batch. And they're demonstrating some of them on a combi there, which looks really crispy as well. Snowman. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Gremlins 2. That's such a good batch. If you really want to bulk up your stuff and if you want to have a look through someone else's archives, that's a little bit voyeuristic, but it's quite a it's an interesting thing to do. Right, let's get through some more of these. That's mainly documentaries, that one. Pre-used, re-recordable. We got here Monty Python, absolutely fabulous. Can't tell what's on those others. So you never know, it's always worth a look. We got here the Go Kids, Paddington, My Bloody Valentine, Company of Wolves, Horror Frankenstein, yep. Highlander 2 and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, there's a weird night. I've just had a back-to-back session myself. I've just had a double feature of Cellar Dweller and Dolls, so a good Empire Pictures double bill there. This is an interesting one because these are Ritz tapes, and this made me look for some other Ritz things as well. So Ritz was a video store chain prior to Blockbuster being a big thing. Excuse me, I've still not got rid of this cough. And I used to go to Ritz with my dad and rent stuff all the time. So it has happy memories. That logo has happy memories. Let's see what these are. These are Ritz recordable ones. So these are ones that you would have recorded yourself. You would buy them from Ritz, and you record it on at home. So Curly Seems, Strictly Boring, Kickboxer, Shattered, Best of the Best 2 on there. Nice martial arts fun. Those are fun. Those are fun. Do they come with the boxes? I look like they've got slipcase boxes. Yes, look at those. Fantastic. They've got the video store logo on. I'd love to get a couple of those. Speaking of Ritz, I went and looked up some other stuff. Now Ritz put out a magazine. It was just basically adverts and like coming attractions, but it was a really really cool one to have. I had this one with Die Hard on it. I remember that because I remember the Scandal advert in there. Yeah, I remember that whole thing. And the Watchers advert. That is absolute gold. Those magazines with full-page adverts, they're just they're frame-worthy for me. Yeah, so there's a lot of copies of this on eBay. I may have to partake if I find a good priced one. There's another one here. Beverly Hills Cop 2 on it. What was on the back? Penitentiary 3. Epic. But I loved all this. I remember there's one Batman there that was epic as well. There was I do miss that sort of era where you could get a thing. So you get a video and you get your snack, and there would be mini posters or postcards or the magazine that you could pick up. So it was a little extra to flick through before the trailers came on, and just really exciting. Oh, Amityville 4 in that one. So I looked up some other video store stuff as well, and of course there's loads of video store posters around, and there is a real wealth of these things around at the moment, and they vary in price, and they vary in quality of, they vary in condition, is what I was going to say. But if you've got the original 80s video shop poster for Friday the 13th Part 3, which is the one where Jason gets the mask. So while the first two are very good, it's Friday the 13th Part 3 that becomes the Friday the 13th that everyone knows. And it's good fun, but yes, £75 for a poster is a lot, to be honest, even a vintage one. Now, something else you would often see in video stores was standees, and here's a Fortress one. Fortress was a great sci-fi action movie with Christopher Lambert trapped in a futuristic prison, and he's just trying to get out again. And you would see these things in video stores all the time. Any video store you went in, you would see the cardboard cutouts. There's the back of it with a fold-out standee and a big cutout. Lovely. That's not in bad condition, but again, £150, and I don't really have the space for it at the moment. Now this really caught my eye. So five racks of original X-Rental VHS video shop pre-search shelves. So it says, despite being awesome, these shelves are made of pretty fragile molded plastic, and so they are quite breakable. But those are absolutely beautiful. Where are those? Brighton. Yeah, I couldn't even fetch those, even if I could afford 800 quid for them. So that would be perfect for displaying a collection. You bolt them onto the wall and just stand your presets on there. Those are so fun. Tapes just look great in those. When I go to the 80s video shop, in fact, I'm going to call in there on Saturday, the day this video comes out. I'm going to call in there and say hello. When you see those at the 80s video shop, those are all the real things as well, and they just look so fab and so evocative of that time and that place and that scene, and you just want to, yeah. You know what I mean. If you're watching these videos, you know what I mean. You know why these things are exciting. Another video store magazine here, Titles Times. I don't remember this one, but it caught my eye. It's from Rental Shop. It's got nice cartoons on. Rent the movies of today, tonight. Why wait for satellite? Exactly. So we've got Forever Young, the Mel Gibson movie on there. But inside, there's an advert there for Carnosaur. One of those where there was a lot of movies came out straight to video that were riffing on Jurassic Park, of course, because that was so big. The Distinguished Gentleman, I don't remember seeing that. So that brings me to the last thing I'm going to talk about here, and that's a couple of articles I found over on the Washington Post about VHS. From now and again, I will look up something, see if there's anything recent that's been said about it, see if the scene's been mentioned, and the scene has indeed been mentioned over on the Washington Post in this piece. With VHS and video stores, tape heads are fueling an analog revival. We certainly are, my friend. We certainly are. Now, how beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? This is Be Kind Video in Burbank, and I know the Be Kind guys turned up at the 80s Video Shop in Alfreton. They came over to the UK recently, and I just missed them. I could have said hello. So there's some stuff on there about Be Kind Video. There's stuff on there about Lunch Meat. There's a little quote from Josh Schaefer, who did the cover to VHS Ate My Brain for me, and there's some stuff on things like Vidiots and how Vidiots closed down and then came back. And it's just interesting to see that these things are out there, and these things are just still getting attention 10 years on from things like Adjust Your Tracking and of course VHS Ate My Brain, and all the things that sort of spearheaded this revival. It's really interesting to see these things still getting put out. So after this, there was a follow-on piece, Opinion, VHS tapes, mostly gone but not obsolete. This was interesting. This was a follow-up. This was January 14th this year, and this was a follow-up over on the Washington Post to the previous article, and it has some interesting stuff about the social aspects of it and the cultural aspects of VHS, and how some things weren't ever moved over to a digital format or even DVD, so some things are still only available on VHS, and it's just interesting to see these things still being discussed, and I love it, and long may it continue. Long may it continue. On that note, I'm going to go get some rest. I have a big day tomorrow. I'm going over to say hi at the 80s Video Shop in Alfreton. I'm going to go on a retro hunt. I'm going to take my mum for lunch, because that's always a good thing to do. Take your mums for lunch. That's an important moment of anyone's week. So I'm going to go and do that. And then tomorrow night, this video will already be out when I'm doing this, but I am intending to pull an all-nighter on the new book. And not only am I going to pull an all-nighter on the new book, I'm going to prove I'm pulling an all-nighter on the new book by live streaming at least some of it. So yeah, if you, I'm going to see if I can get it over here on YouTube instead of Twitch this time. So look out, there may be a live me on here on YouTube on Saturday night. That's Saturday the 10th of February. So yeah, look out for that. I'll be writing, I'll be chatting, I may play some games, I may look at some tapes in between sessions of writing, but the main intention is to get a big chunk of stuff done on the new book, and I hope you'll join me for that. So I am Andrew Horn. If you've not read the previous edition of the book, go check out VHS Ate My Brain revised edition, which has been fully updated from the original book, and it's way longer. It's like twice the length. Do check that out, and do check out my other books. I've written a lot of fiction, written a lot of non-fiction, and there's some more to come after VHS Ate My Brain, but we'll cover that another day. Yeah, some cool stuff coming. So please do like and subscribe if you like this sort of thing. I put these videos out each week. Sometimes I do reviews in the week. I've not been able to do that recently because of this damn cold, where I've just felt like absolute hell. But we're getting back on track, hopefully. I keep saying we're getting back on track, and then the cold comes back. It just never seems to end. So for the time being, thank you for watching this episode of Planet Hex, and I'll see you for the next one. Keep playing those tapes, and remember, rewind.